Welcome to our Shopify Lite UX audit. Many e-commerce brands will set up their Shopify store only to never revisit their user experience again. And this is a pretty big mistake because you never know how many customers you might potentially be driving away with poor user experience, whether it be navigation issues, difficulty finding products, or just an overall confusing and unpleasant experience. You don't want these things to get your customers to jump off of your site and onto a competitor's. At SmartBug, we have user experience strategists that partner with our clients and perform really in-depth UX audits. And this helps them uncover gaps all the way from front end to back end in ways and areas that we can increase conversions, increase the likelihood of purchase, and help make our customers have an overall better and more pleasant experience. Now, you may not be ready to commit to a full user experience audit with SmartBug, but we wanted to provide you with some tools to get you started. So we've created this light user experience audit for your Shopify store, and this is going to help you audit different sections of your website so you can uncover what some of the gaps are that you should initially get started on optimizing. So the initial page that you'll see here is data checkup. And on this tab, this is where we're going to review all of our overall site analytics, pulling all of our data, and also honing in on specific pages that you want to take a closer look at. So for example, let's say we have a page that has high time on page, but low conversions. Maybe we want to take a look at that to see, is the navigation confusing? Is the CTA difficult to find? Something on here might not be working, so let's take a closer look at that and see. So within this tab, you'll be able to log all these different pages and also comment your observations on these pages as well. So let's say that page that did have low conversions has a kind of odd CTA that's off from the rest of the website and a little bit difficult to find compared to what our typical CTAs look like. We can make sure to write that in here so we know when we're going back to optimize that we can go back to our observations and know exactly what it was that we've identified that we want to adjust. There's also a section down here for you to collect deeper insights. So we added a few questions in here to kind of get you started, get the ball rolling on what questions you need to be asking yourself to really understand how your user experience is performing. What percentage of sessions abandon the cart? What percentage of sessions abandon their checkout? Are there any hotspots on your website? What's the leading source to your website? Is there a commonality between multiple pages with high bounce rates? What winning elements are on your pages with the highest conversion rates? This step is great for you to look at your primary website pages and really take a look at some of those deep analytics that could potentially tell you if your user experience is performing well or not. So once you've identified those pages you want to take a closer look at here, now it's time to move on to our checklist, which is in this next tab. So in this tab here is the checklist of the actual Shopify UX audit. But keep in mind, this is a light version of the audits we typically would perform. So what we've done is identified the most important categories and pages on your website that you'll need to make sure are performing at the best level. And we've identified some of the top things that you need to check for. Again, this doesn't dive into the depths of it. So if you really want a full in-depth audit and making sure you're covering all of your bases, highly encourage you to connect with someone from our team, and we're happy to help you through that process. But for now, in this self-led audit, you'll be able to check for things in your website navigation and menu structure, in your website design, forms, cart and checkout page, purchase confirmation page, account page, accessibility, and back-end and technical. Using this checklist is pretty straightforward. You're gonna go through each of these items and each category, and you're gonna mark either pass or fail. Depending on what you find, you wanna make sure you add your observations here. So let's say for this one right here, customers can edit items in their cart. Let's say we failed this one. Customers can, let's say they can adjust the quantity, but no other product specifications, which includes color, size, etc. So now we know when we're going back to actually implement these optimizations that this is what we need to make sure we're optimizing for. Another note to keep in mind is that there are a couple columns that will have this little black triangle in the corner. And if you hover over it, it'll give you a little bit more detail about what it is that you're looking for. So that way you can audit correctly. Once you've gone through the entire checklist, then you can actually start optimizing your website with all of the findings that you've gathered. It can be rather time consuming though, so if you do need support in optimizing your website with everything that you've uncovered, don't hesitate to reach out to us. But this audit should definitely get you started and hopefully help you uncover some gaps that you might not have otherwise known about. Enjoy and happy marketing!